I got my body scan today. It's not the news I wanted, but you know what? It's the news I expected. Hey, what's shaking, bacon? My name's Bruno Panucci. I hope you're doing well. Because my bod exam got postponed for a week because the machine was not working properly, I was originally going to do this video on not damaging your metabolism in the goal of fixing your insulin resistance. So I started this month doing an 80-20 4-meal-a-day challenge. So the 80-20 represents my calorie intake. 80% of my calories are coming from fat, 20% from protein. So this is a moderate protein diet. The way I'm doing it is I'm starting at 0.7 grams of protein for each pound of lean body weight I have. So I was going off of about 200 pounds because that's my goal weight for my lean body weight. So I started this challenge for September and it was going to last till the end of November and it was possibly going to last till the end of December. I'm probably only going to do it till the end of November because there's something else I want to try and I'm getting kind of eager to do it. I was going to start each month and end each month with a bod exam, and a bod tells you what your lean mass to body fat percentage ratio is. This is a medical grade piece of equipment that they use to measure this information, and it's equally as good as a DEXA scan, and that's a full body x-ray. So a bod tells you all the information that a DEXA scan does. It's closer to me and it's cheaper to do and it's much less exposure to x-rays. The whole point of this 80-20 4-meal-a-day challenge was to help people manage their insulin resistance. Even on a carnivore diet, some people are still dealing with stubborn plateaus or weight loss. I was stuck for 8 months trying to lose that last 80 pounds of weight. The scale didn't really budge too much. Some people have had these plateaus even longer. The odd person, it's rare, but the odd person tends to start putting weight on. So the interesting thing about that I've noticed is most of those people are women that are in menopause or pre-menopause. So the people that are doing this challenge are making it an uphill battle for themselves if they're new to carnivore and they've never experienced it. They're probably going to get amazing results just doing regular carnivore. Eat till you're full or satiated, and then eat again when you're hungry. Make sure to have a good amount of water. Make sure to have salt. The vast majority of people doing that are going to have exceedingly good results that they will be happy with. But for those people that have had these stubborn plateaus, this is something for those people. That's the reason why I'm doing it, and it's the reason why a lot of people are doing this. Now, quite a few people in my group are going down to low protein instead of moderate protein. One of the consistent problems I'm seeing with people doing this way of eating in the group is they want all the results yesterday. You know what I mean? They want to get a lot of weight loss really quick, and they're frustrated when other people are getting the weight loss and they're not, and they're 2, 3, 4 weeks into this, and they haven't gotten the weight loss they want. You got to give this time. It's most likely taking you years to get to this point where you have stubborn insulin resistance. Now, it could be because you have other health problems, or it could just be because you've yo-yo dieted for a long time, or you've just been overweight for a long time. Those are very common reasons. But the reality is, it took you years to get this far, and you want to turn it around in 2 weeks? Or 3 weeks? Or you've only lost 5 pounds and you're discouraged? I strongly feel like you have to stop, take a step back, and reevaluate what you're doing. Though I find the concept of doing low protein intriguing because I have to look into it more to give it a definitive reason why I don't like it or like it, I'm telling you right off the bat, I'm not a fan of it. And I'm not a fan of it for one big reason. You're always supposed to be finding your upper limits of protein. Now, if you're going down to a moderate level of protein temporarily, to try and fix your insulin resistance, I get that, but it should be a temporary thing that you do. Now, if you're going a step beyond that and you're going down to low protein to try and manage your insulin resistance, you know what? You're probably causing metabolism damage. And I'm going to demonstrate why in a minute when I show you the results of my bod exam. Keep in mind, I was only doing moderate protein and my results were not good. Dr. Boz likes to talk about how people that are in high ketosis don't lose lean mass. A lot of people are having trouble getting into strong, aggressive ketosis because of their insulin sensitivity. But also, those studies that Dr. Boz is going from were apparently done on athletes, professional athletes. You and I, we're not professional athletes. Some of us aren't athletes at all. And last month, I wanted to show this because if you do the wrong type of exercise and you're losing weight, you can lose a lot of your lean mass. I've mentioned in other videos, between 30 to 40% of your weight loss for the vast majority of people will be your lean mass. You don't want that. That's damaging your metabolism at that point. You want to minimize that number. The more weight loss you have, the greater chance you're going to have at losing lean mass. You can't help that. But you want to minimize that. You don't want to let it go up to 30 or 40%. In some cases, it can even go up to 50%. And for those of you who are trying to lose weight at all cost, You got to stop and think about what you're doing. You're potentially destroying your metabolism. You're lowering your protein intake, and your body is going to need that protein. Protein is a building block for your body. Carbs are a fuel we don't need. It's a dirty fuel. It's like gasoline compared to electric fuel. One's better than the other. But when it comes to protein, our body needs protein. And if it's not getting an adequate amount of protein day to day, it's going to start robbing it from your bones and muscles. And when that happens, you're damaging your metabolism. You're literally eating into your own metabolism, and you're thinking to yourself, well, it's great though. I just lost 10 pounds in the last 2 weeks. But what's happening is you just lowered your metabolism. You want to have a high lean mass to body fat percentage. If you're eating into your lean mass, that is not good. And stop looking at this as a way to lose weight and start looking at it as a way to lose fat, not starve your metabolism further like you've been doing all these years. You have to break the cycle, because I've seen so many people in the Facebook group going too extreme with this way of eating. They're not following the rules. They're not following the guidelines. They're doing their own version of this to get faster results. And there's a reason why we're starting at 0.7 grams and not 0.3 or 4 grams. There's a reason why we're having 4 meals and not 3 or 2 meals. We don't want to stay at moderate protein long term, and we don't want to do low protein really at all. And you're going to see why when you watch the rest of this video. So I was originally going to start weight training when I was doing this challenge, because I knew going down to moderate protein, it would start eating into my lean mass. Now, in the first few days of this challenge, I wasn't getting to the gym. That bad was on me, but I was walking my dog a lot. I noticed a lot of people were starting to go low protein, and they were missing the point of this challenge. And I thought, you know what? I've been walking my dog a lot so far this week. I'm going to demonstrate to people for the month what happens when you don't do weight training and you go down to a moderate protein, or more excessively, a low protein diet. Let's see what happens. The results are not the results you want. We're going to see the results of my weight loss, and they're not going to be good. Yes, there is weight loss, but not a good quality weight loss. I bet my results next month are going to be much better. When you lose weight, you don't want to lose fat and muscle. You want to lose, ideally, just fat. Otherwise, you're just going to become a skinny, fat version of yourself. You know what I mean? People who've lost a lot of weight, they're still really flabby. They've lost a lot of muscle in the process because they're only concerned with losing weight. You don't want to be that person. You want to be the person who's losing fat. You have to get out of that mindset that you want to lose weight. Your goal is to lose fat. You don't want to lose weight. You want to lose fat. Okay, so here we are going over my bod pod results. So I've had 9 bod pod tests. That's the column in the left. And the second column is the dates I've had all these tests. Now you'll notice from exam 1 to exam 3, my lean mass went up over 10 pounds. That's the kind of weight loss we want. My lean mass went up, my body fat percentage went down. That's awesome. But I dropped 19 pounds of fat. That's the kind of weight loss we want, people. My metabolism started at 24.51, and that challenge, it ended at 24.24. It barely dropped. So let's go down to the 8th row. I started this challenge at 184.2 pounds of lean mass. In between the last challenge and the start of this challenge, I was only doing the odd HIIT workout maybe once a week. So I started at a very close amount of fat-free mass than when I originally started a year ago, September. I had 317.9 pounds, so I was really at 318 pounds, and my metabolism dropped to 2,400. My estimated metabolic rate dropped by 50 points. But this is the beginning of the challenge. Ideally, we want that number to be as high as possible. So the green column, we want as high as possible. The orange column, we want as high as possible. The light blue and the purple column, we want those numbers to continue to go down. So if we look at the 9th row, that's my most recent bod pod. So my fat mass is 42% now. My percentage of fat mass barely dropped. So I started at 317.9 with this challenge in the beginning of September. And by the beginning of October, I went down to 311.6. Out of that 6 1/3 pounds, 3.5 of that was lean mass. That's half. That's half of the weight I lost was lean mass. That is not a good weight loss. We don't want that weight loss. So what we're going to find going forward, when we get into my 10th bod pod exam at the beginning of November, we're going to see this go up. We're going to see my fat-free mass go up. I'm expecting it to go up to at least 184. The goal is to raise that number, get that orange column as high as possible. I want to shoot up to 200 pounds at least of lean mass. That's the goal. That's the goal I want to try and maintain. So like I said, we want the purple and the light blue column to go down. We want those numbers down. And the more lean mass I have, the better that body fat percentage is going to be. Even if I stayed at the exact same amount of fat on my body, if I increase my lean mass by 10 pounds, my body fat percentage is now going to register different, even if I didn't lose a pound of fat. So I just can't stress this enough. This is me. I'm not an athlete. I'm a regular person who went down to a moderate protein diet, and there was significant muscle loss. That was just at moderate protein. What do you think is happening to the people that have gone to low protein? I'm sure you've lost at least 50% of your lean mass. Your resting metabolic rate has gone down dramatically. I am now down 100 points from last year. I'm down 90 points from January 1st of this year. If for some reason you're doing low protein or even moderate protein, this is the exact reason why I like to go on about how this is something you should do temporarily. This is not a thing that you should be doing long term, and this is the reason why. You're seeing it in the numbers. We're not trying to have weight loss. We want to lose fat. We don't want to damage our metabolism in the process. So let's look at this one scan here. My fat is 42%. My lean mass is 58%. So I've had better numbers than this in the past. At the bottom of this, we have a bit of an example of how they figure out what type of calories I should be getting in a day. I'm starting at 2,355 calories, and I'd put my activity level between sedentary and low active right now, probably closer to sedentary because I'm a massage therapist and I just do a lot of standing or sitting with my work. It's not physically demanding for me because I'm a big guy. When I add in a weight routine, I'm going to go between a low active and an active activity level. I think I'll get pretty decent results at 0.7 grams, but nothing to brag about. That's normally why you want to push your upper limits of your protein. So I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. I hope this video didn't come across condescending or pointing a finger at people that they're doing something wrong or doing something bad. That's not the goal. What I'm trying to do is show you that going down to a moderate to low protein diet, especially long-term, is not a healthy thing to do. Thanks a lot for tuning in. If you like this video, subscribe and give a comment. I really appreciate that. Thanks a lot. Take care.